Merry meet, Annie here. This is probably in the category of further exploration of mystery. But really, we could spend the entire season exploring mystery, couldn't we? And in fact, now that I think of it, we do. The mystery of who we have been and who we are becoming. The mystery of emotions, that's a big mystery, for sure. Of transformation, of flow, of intimacy and vastness, and the way the things in our lives reveal themselves to us and don't. Circles and spirals and moments in time. Moments of timelessness as well. Throughout the length of the season of Samhain, indeed the entire season of water, mystery. Mystery abides in all of the seasons of the year, and it seems to me the only true revelations we experience in relation to it are by exploring what it can be in each season, which then, of course, becomes who we are in each season. But for the reflection that is today's in the season of Samhain, silent certainty. This one is inspired by yet another poem, and I'm sure you're not surprised by the way words are most commonly my inspiration. That is, in fact, why I have a word a day for the year, after all. The poem is by Thomas I. Reed, and I found it in a book entitled Heal Your Soul, Heal the World, Prayers and Poems to Comfort, Inspire, and Connect Humanity, edited by June Cotner. I don't know who Thomas Reed is, and I've never found anything else written by him, but I have a feeling I really like the man from this one poem of his. It's called A Silent Certainty. I join with the universe. I sing with the universe. I know not my beginning. I shall never end. Through me move the currents of life, attracting, repelling, creating, decaying. I see their beauty. I feel their power. I am overwhelmed. Within me flow the conflicting ambiguities of time. Death in living, pain in knowing, hope in seeking, love in giving. I search for their meaning, I look for their purpose, but no one understands. Yet around me, above me, and with me lies a mystery above all mysteries, a truth above all truths, an assurance that fills the earth and the starry heavens above, a solemn knowledge, a silent certainty that that which moves the universe moves me. I remember when I was introduced to this poem. It was a few weeks after 9/11. I was on a team working on a project which was to be a 24-hour vigil on peace. It was being held in a darkened church sanctuary lit only by candles. For 24 hours, we hosted it. And we would be taking turns reading poems of peace and comfort. It was an ecumenical undertaking, and the poetry came from many sources, including poems written by those of us who were presenting. It was a long day for sure, not so much because of no sleep for 24 hours, but because it was a quietly emotional experience. I felt as if I was sitting with my soul, and it wavered between feeling a very alone kind of thing to a feeling of my soul blending with and sometimes becoming one with all those who were coming and going from that sanctuary. There were only 2 times in the 24 hours that presentations were not poetry or spoken prose of some kind. We began the vigil singing "O God of All the Nations," one of my favorite hymns, and we ended it by singing John Lennon's Imagine. I lost whatever it was that I brought to that vigil in a computer crash in the days before I started backing everything up. But here and there, in all the bits and pieces of poetry and prose I collect, my contributions are still there, just not in one file. When this came up in today's reflection, it took me back to that place and that time, as I remembered it was one of many poems I read in that 24 hours. And the poem, perhaps because it was part of the vigil, is poignant and bittersweet to me. It captures how we feel when life feels just too damned much at the emotional level, too overwhelming, too full of the seemingly unbearable. The season of water isn't always about the comforting and uplifting emotions. It's also about the churning, raging, tempestuous ones. And it is very often about the dichotomies and chasms in the range of our emotions from this poem. Attracting, repelling, creating, decaying, death in living, pain in knowing, hope in seeking, love in giving. This being human and having a heart. Whoa. What it is capable of feeling. And then the poem comes to the place of comfort with a solemn knowledge, a silent certainty. To me, those are the words of the season of Samhain and the season of water, with hints of the season of earth to come, which is why the poem landed as today's inspiration, I'm sure. To me, the comfort in that poem is around me, above me, with me, lies a mystery above all mysteries, a truth above all truths, an assurance that fills the earth and the starry heavens above, a solemn knowledge, a silent certainty that that which moves the universe moves me. I have to catch myself when I revisit this poem, as my mind tends to want to wander off to a place where I settle again into consideration of the prime mover, that which moves the universe. Perhaps some of you were triggered to that consideration by that last line also. And that takes me delightfully back to my baby days when we studied Aristotle's take on the prime mover. But that's not where I need to go with this poem, not now. It's not about getting to the source. It's not about defining mystery. It's understanding that we are one with it. Maybe understanding isn't the word I want. How about instead experiencing we are one with it? Experiencing mystery. Perhaps simply experiencing. I wish you all mirth and reverence in the season of Samhain. Merry part.